So as you sit here or lie here, let your body soften. Let the muscles on the back release away from the spine. Let the body get heavy, sink down. Let go of all the thinking and start to check in from head to toe, scanning the body. Noticing areas of tension, tightness, tiredness, tenderness, if there's pain, the 4 T's. But noticing also places where there is softness and ease. So just like choosing to intentionally place our attention on our thoughts and emotions. We can intentionally choose to place our attention on the places that feel good in the body as well. There's not always a constant focus on the discomfort or the uncomfortable in the body. Take some time here and notice where things feel good right now. You go all the way down to the feet. Bring your attention to the breath. And if you're not already there, come down onto your back. Stretch those legs out nice and long. And bring the feet a little wider, maybe to 5 and 7 o'clock. And then stretch those arms out, let the palms face up. Maybe bringing those arms to like 10 and 2 o'clock. And we'll take a moment here to observe the breath in the belly and the chest. And to breathe intentionally into belly first, then the chest. Up through the collarbones, breathe in through the nose. And then exhale, release everything down. Again, breathe into the belly, then the chest. Nice big long exhale, release. One more time, breathe in belly, chest, in through the nose. And the big long exhale. This time, open the mouth, stick out the tongue, lion's breath, exhale. Let's do one more lion's breath. Nice breath, big inhale in through the belly. Open the mouth, stick out the tongue, and release. Shake that jaw side to side. Open and close nice and wide, stick out the tongue a few times. And then as you're ready, we'll start to slide those feet back in, hug the knees in to the chest. Shimmy around a bit and get that spine nice and flat on the mat. So the low back, the tailbone is nice and flat, and you start rocking it out side to side here. As we're down here on our mat, we help to set the stage to relax the nervous system. You can close your eyes to kind of quiet that sense of sight and reduce the stimuli that the brain needs to process. Nothing to look at, just close the eyes and look inward, see how things are feeling. And as you rock here, check out any differences in the left low back and the right low back. Just notice this morning if one side might be tender, what they feel about equal. Just noticing and remembering that we have those touch points at the base of the skull and the tailbone with the nerve endings, and the weight of gravity pulls us down here. And those touch points get activated and send a message to the brain to relax the nervous system as we just rock here. Let's circle the knees while we're here. Keep rocking as well. And that rocking motion mimics how we were held and rocked as babies, with the back of the skull and the tailbone supported on someone's arm. Same thing here. Circle the other way. Back to center. Let's open those knees a little bit wider. Have a little stretch for those inner legs. And rock it out here. And then come back to neutral in the center. Knees are nice and wide. The legs are in the shape of a V, and we'll bring those feet up into the air for a happy baby. See if maybe you can get those elbows on the inside of the knees and gently nudge those legs open a little bit wider. Rock it out here too if it feels good. And then holding it here in our happy baby, let's see if we can just stretch that right leg out nice and long. Back to happy baby, and then stretch that left leg out. So we just straighten out the leg a bit. And keep that knee soft though, not locked or rigid. Back to happy baby, stretch that right leg out. If it's not available for you to reach your toes, you can always have those hands back behind the knees, draw that leg in closer to the body. And then switch again, stretch that left leg out. And then let's see if we can stretch the right leg out to meet the left. Bring those legs into a V. And again, hands can be back behind the knees, or you could grab your strap here as well. And then we'll close those legs, bring the feet together up in the air, point and flex, point and flex. Maybe a little massage feels good too. Those calf muscles. As you point and flex, and then circle the ankles, just noticing the creaking and the cracking. Circle both ways. both directions. And then with everything up in the air, we'll take a minute to just shake everything out. Shake the legs, shake the arms. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Belly's drawn into spine. Spine is drawn down to mat. Keeping that back nice and grounded. Let those wrists go, let the legs go. And then just hold. Take a nice big breath in. Notice the sensations in the hands and the fingers and the legs. And while we're here, we'll circle the wrists a bit. Both directions. And then bend and straighten those legs. Waking up the knees a bit, circling the wrists. And then we'll bend those knees, feet come down to the ground. Let's walk the feet nice and wide, let those feet hang off the edges of the mat. Stretch the arms out to a T, shimmy the shoulder blades underneath the back. And let's nice and slow drop those legs side to side. Drop to the left. And then over to the right. Starting to stretch out. Front of the hips here, gentle twist. And then hug those knees into the chest. I'm gonna shimmy around and adjust and make sure my spine is nice and flat. And then we're gonna come into our knee down twist. So bringing my arms back out, palms face up. Drop those knees over to the left, head turns right. Come back through center, core is engaged. Drop the knees to the right, head turns left. A few times, back and forth through center. Drop knees left, head looks right. Back through center, drop knees right, head looks left. One more time, just starting out with some gentle twisting, drawing the belly into the spine so we're waking up the core as well. One more time, drop the knees to the right, head looks left. And this time, let's stretch out that top leg. So let the bottom leg relax down. Stretch out that top left leg. Maybe you can reach for that left big toe with the right hand and a yogi toe hold. Maybe you can reach that ankle. Maybe you just hold on here under the calf. You could also grab your strap here. Nice stretch here for outer left hip and down the back of the left leg. Little stretch for that left shoulder. And then bend that left knee back to center. And let's switch sides. So drop the knees over to the left this time. Bottom leg relaxes down. And remember, you can always prop a block underneath for support if that feels better. Stretch that top leg out. Head turns right. And then again, maybe you can reach that right big toe with the left hand yogi toe hold, or maybe you're holding at the ankle or the calf. Check in with sensation in that outer right hip and down the back of that right leg. Flex that right foot while you're here. Push that heel away. Get down into that Achilles tendon on the right side. And then release back to center. Hug those knees into the chest. We're going to do a few rounds of flowing bridge now. Some gentle back bends. So knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. Feet are about hip width apart here. So as you get ready, shimmy the shoulder blades underneath the back. And the hands can be resting down beside the body or any place that it feels comfortable to get started. So ground the feet down into the mat, turn on those thigh muscles as well as the glute muscles. And lift up into bridge. Stretch those hips up. And then nice and slow, release down. One vertebrae at a time, the spine comes back down at the mat, finishing at the tailbone. And then again, take another breath in, ground down into those feet, turn on those leg muscles, glute muscles, and release down. One vertebrae at a time. Now we'll bring the arms into it, rounding down into the feet, stretch those hips up, inhale the arms overhead, and exhale, release down. Again, breathe in, lift up, and exhale, release down. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Stretch the hips up. Exhale, release. 1 more time. Breathe in. Lift the hips. And exhale, release down. Hug knees in. Rock side to side. Grab our strap. Put those feet up into the strap. And let's start just bending opposite knees, just like we do when we walk our dog in downward dog. Bending and straightening, stretch those heels up. We'll come into our figure 4 next. Let's cross that left foot over the right. Left elbow gently nudging that left knee out and away from the body if you want to go a little deeper. Flex that left foot while you're here. You can hold it still, you can rock. So just check in with sensation here. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Noticing the thoughts that pop up as we practice. Thoughts about how our body is doing right here. We let go of any judgment or need to control or change anything that we notice, and just allow our body to stretch and open wherever it needs to be right now. And then nice and slow, we'll release that left leg, stretch it out, let it hover a few inches off the mat. Belly's drawn down to spine, spine's drawn down to the mat. We hold that the strap in the right hand, and then let's inhale, left arm overhead. Take a nice long line here with the left side of the body, and then maybe we exhale and then lift up. Hold it here for a few breaths. Engaging that belly. And then nice and slow. Release down. Release that left leg. Just kind of shake it out. And then we're going to bring the back of that left knee down towards the floor. So flex that left foot as you stretch that right leg out to the side. So you could do this with the yogi toe hold too. With that right leg. Just reaching for the right big toe or doing it with strap. Back of that left knee, draw it down to the mat. Flex that foot, draw the toes back towards the nose. Maybe left palm facing down on that left hip. Back to center, switch the strap into the left hand, cross the other way. Head turns right. And release, back to center, left foot comes into the strap to meet the right, switch legs, shimmy around, get the spine nice and flat first. Then right leg comes out, figure four. Maybe noticing differences between right side and left. Relax the shoulders here. Lock it out if that feels good. To get a little deeper. Right elbow gently nudging that right knee out a bit more, away from the body. And also we can use that strap to draw that left knee in a little bit closer. Take a few breaths here, in and out through the nose. Soften the jaw and the shoulders, so anywhere you can release any gripping. And then nice and slow, right leg comes out, stretch it out, let it hover a few inches off the floor. Strap is in the left hand now, and we stretch that right arm overhead. Reach with those right fingertips. Right thumb is facing down towards the mat. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Draw that left leg in a little bit closer. Draw belly down to spine. And then release. Right leg comes back in to meet the left. Stretch those legs open to a V. Rock it out here. Or just hold it and let those inner legs open up here with the support of the strap. So let's see if you have the end of the strap here. If you can bring those hands on the inside of the feet and grab that strap as well. So you've made a little circle, a little loop around the feet now. And now let's see if we can bend those knees and draw them down. So it's a super wide, happy baby. Bring that tailbone back down towards the floor. And then release. Those legs come back together, drop that strap off to the side. Let's roll onto our left side here. Make a little pillow. And we'll just wake up the hips a little bit more. Circling. Lubricating that hip. Other way. And then lift and lower a few times, working on strengthening that outer hip. And then bring that knee back to neutral. We're going to bring the knee in front. And then tap that foot in back, opening and closing the hip here. So we're working on hip rotation. Tap the knee, foot comes up. Tap that foot back behind, knee comes up. A few more times. So it's okay if that foot doesn't reach the ground and that leg is kind of suspended. Just see if you can turn that knee up towards the sky. And then we'll hug that right leg in, stretch that right leg up in the air, reach for the ankle, or back behind that knee, or the big toe, yogi toe hold. And let's see if we can just bend and straighten that right knee a bit. And then release. Right leg comes down, roll onto the belly. Bring those hands right alongside the chest. Let's just kind of tap the feet here. And then tuck those toes. Hug those arms in to the chest. And we'll do a few rounds of lifting and lowering. So draw that belly up off the floor, up to the spine, engage the core. And push down, lift up into your baby cobra. Hug those arms into the side. Exhale, release down. Working on strengthening the back here. Lifting up, pushing into those hands. Hug the arms into the side of the body. Release down. A few more times. Round down into the hands. Lift it up, breathe in. And out as you move. 2 more times. Lift up. Belly's drawn in. The spine, release down. Really hug those arms into the side of the body as you lift. Round into those fingers. And release down. All right, before we switch sides with the hips, let's come into our Sphinx pose here. So coming up onto the elbows, fingers are spread nice and wide. And let's look up with that chin off the chest, open up that throat chakra. Draw belly up off the floor. And just hold it here for a breath or two. And then bring that head back to neutral. Just look right. Look over towards that right foot. See if you can find it back behind you. Back through center. And now look left. See if you can find that left foot. Back through center. Look right. Back through center. And look left. So while we're here, let's do a little strengthening exercise in our plank. So I'm going to bring these arms back. Pull back onto the knees to start. Coming into our table. So we're going to stretch one leg back. And then the other. And then one leg down. Other leg down. So we're kind of going in and out of plank. So let's stretch that right leg back. Stretch the left leg back. Knees come up off the floor. Right knee comes down. Left knee comes down. So do a few more times. So we're just working on strengthening, getting into plank and getting out of plank. Whole time belly is pulled into the spine. Stretch it back. Right leg, left leg, right leg down, left leg down. One more time. Right leg back, left leg back, right leg down, left leg down. So while we're here at table, let's tuck those toes under and get a little stretch. The toes and the feet pull back like you're coming into your child's pose. And we'll stretch out the back of the legs. Coming back to table, come into your down dog. Just walk your dog here. Bend opposite knees. And then release back down, but we're gonna come back down onto our right side to finish those hip moves. Make a little pillow with the right arm. And we'll start with the left leg just circling a few times in each direction. Just kind of lubricating that hip joint, switch it up. Back to neutral, lift and lower, lift and lower. Back to neutral, tap that knee in front, tap that foot in back. Opening and closing that hip. And then hug that knee into the chest. Stretch that leg up in the air. Maybe you reach for the ankle or the big toe. Hand behind that knee. And really pull those toes down towards the face. A nice stretch for that Achilles tendon here. And then release that leg down. Come back onto the belly again. And we're going to come back into a wide knee child's pose. So pull back to your table. Open those knees to 10 into a clock. Bring the big toes together and pull back. Circle the wrists again while you're here. Give that low back a little chance to release. Take a few breaths here. In and out through the nose. Get ready to move on. So coming back up through your table here. Start with a little cat-cow. Breathing in to the back bend. Exhaling and curling. Like an angry cat. Breathe into the back bend and curl. A few more times. Breathe in and out. Arch that back. Just kind of picturing that black cat around Halloween. And then coming back to your table, let's stretch that right leg out to the side. Right foot is flat on the ground. And we're going to pull back like we're coming into child's pose again. Pull back towards that left foot. And then come on back up. Again, as you exhale, pull back. Super gentle movement here. Get a nice stretch for that inner right leg. Pull back. Bring that left glute back towards that left heel. And then come on back up. Let's walk the hands over towards that right foot. So I'm really reaching here with left hand, my left fingertips. Tenting those fingers. Belly's drawn into spine. Get a nice stretch in the left low back. Walk it back to center. And let's see if we can lift that right leg off the ground and then swing it all the way around. Right foot comes to 7 o'clock. Tuck the toes here. Stretch that right heel back. Another stretch for the Achilles tendon and the calf muscle. For the IT band. Look over that left shoulder and find that foot. And then release. Come on back to center. Pull back, child's pose. Circle the wrists. Give them a break. And then come on back up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Stretch that left leg out. Left foot is flat on the floor. Toes are pointing forward. Pull back towards that right heel. Nice and slow. Come on back up. Pull back. Right glute towards right heel. Come on back up. Take a breath in and again, pull it back. One more time, back up to the hands and pull back. Back up to the hands, let's walk over towards that left foot. So really reaching with those fingertips here, and that foot is still flat on the floor. This big stretch up the right side of the body. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. Maybe sink down a little bit deeper. And then release. Walk those hands back to center. Those palms come flat on the floor again. Fingers are spread nice and wide. And we lift the left leg up, parallel to the ground again. Swing it all the way around to 5 o'clock. Tuck those toes under on the left foot. Stretch that left heel back. Look over that right shoulder. Find that stretch in the outer left hip. Trace it down the outer left leg. Check out any sensation in the calf and the Achilles tendon. As you push the heel away. And then release. Bring that left leg back to center. Let's just do a few hip circles before we move on. Nice and easy. Bringing the hips from 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and back to 12. And then reverse. Counterclockwise. And then release. Come on back to your table. So while we're here, I'm going to grab my block. You have your blocks in front. You can have them at the highest setting, just getting ready for support if you want them there. So from here, we're going to tuck our toes. Stretch it back, downward dog. Walk your dog again, bend opposite knees. Stretch those heels up, come on to tippy toes, and then release heels back down. Up and down a few times. Get a little stretch for the feet. And then nice and slow, we're going to start to walk the feet and the hands towards one another, bend those knees. And I'm just going to turn sideways on my mat here. A little bit of a wide-legged stand here, forward fold. And then you can use your blocks at any height that feels good for you, or maybe you want those hands on the ground. I'm going to walk my feet out a little bit wider. So the wider you go, the closer the head will be able to come to the ground. So just know that you do whatever feels safe for you here. If you have any issues with blood pressure or glaucoma, then you don't want the head to hang down and you want to stay up nice and high and keep the spine parallel to the floor and the head parallel to the floor. But if no issues, you can come down as deep as it feels good for you. You can bend into that right knee, get a little side lunge here. Back through center, bend into that left knee. Bend into the right. And bend into the left. Back to center, ground those hands or hands are on the block. Ground that left hand, turn and twist, right arm opens to the right. Exhale down, turn and twist and open left. Release those hands back down. So we're going to come into our crescent lunge here. I'm going to start to walk my hands over to the left, bend those knees, and I'm going to turn that left foot to face front, pivot on that back foot, and that right foot drops down. Right knee drops down. And then relax that right back foot. You come onto the top of that back foot. So making your way up. Too close here. Come up into your crescent lunge with the left leg forward. You could have a little padding under the back of your knees. So let's come into it a little deeper. Bring that back leg on a diagonal. And then back off, come back up, leg comes straight again. Come a little deeper. Stretch the front of that right hip and back up. A few times here, coming in and out. Bring the breath into it. Exhale as you come forward. Inhale as you come back. Exhale a little bit deeper. And inhale back. So let's bring, while we're here, hands gently clasp behind the head. A little chest opener. Lift that heart up to the sky. Belly's drawn into spine. Take a few breaths here. And then we're going to twist. Right elbow, left knee. Open it up again. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, open those elbows. One more time, twist, right elbow, left knee. And open it up. Hands come down. You can have your blocks on either side of this foot here for runner's lunge. Stretch that left leg forward. And then pull those toes back. You can rock it left to right here. You can bring a little movement in. You can bring the toes down and back up. To fine tune it, see if you can draw the left hip back and the right hip forward a bit. Square those hips. And then nice and slow, bend that left knee. Draw it back. And we'll switch sides. So this time, right foot comes forward. Make your way up. You can use that support of that right leg. So we're going to work on stretching the front of the left hip here. So starting out, take a nice breath in. And then back leg comes on a diagonal. Sink down a little deeper into that right knee. Lift it back up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release out. Exhale back down. Let's see if we can get that back leg on the diagonal so we open the front of the left hip. Coming in and out a few times. One more time. Exhale in. Hands behind the head again. Just gently clasping those hands, open those elbows, little baby back bend. Draw the shoulder blades closer to one another. Then come back up to neutral. Breathe in, exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale and open. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale. Last one. Twist, left elbow, right knee. Back to center. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come down to the floor or you block. Stretch that right leg forward. Draw the toes back towards the nose, flex that foot. And you can just hold it still or bring some movement here, pointing and flexing the toes, or just kind of let those toes rock right to left, the foot rock right to left. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. And then maybe drawing that right hip back. Draw the left hip forward. Just see how that changes it. Nice and slow. Start to bend into that right knee. On back, and we'll take one child's pose before we come up. So you can do traditional with legs together or wide knee child's pose. Those knees are pointing out to 10 and 2 o'clock. Big toes together. Rest the forehead on the hands on your block or the mat and just rock that head side to side. Little massage for the center of the forehead, the third eye chakra, our wisdom center. And from here, we'll make our way back up. Tuck those toes. Stretch the heels down towards the mat as you lift the hips, downward dog, shake that head, yes and no. Let's ground the left foot, stretch that right leg up, three-legged dog, and then option 2, bend that right knee, let that foot fall back behind. Release back to center, ground the right leg, stretch that left leg up, three-legged dog, reach that right heel towards the mat. And then option here, bend the left knee, let that left foot fall back behind. Belly's drawn into spine. And then release back to center. Make your way up to stand, however it feels safe. If you want to come with me, I'm going to bend the knees. Hop those feet forward. Nice and slow. Come on up to stand. And just start out. Just roll those shoulders out a bit. Roll those shoulders up and back. And roll the shoulders down. Take a few sun breaths here. Inhaling up. Exhale, arms to your side. Again, inhale up. Exhale, arms to your side. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale, arms out. Bend those knees, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Roll it all the way up. Breathe in, palms together. And lower those hands in front of the heart. Close the eyes, take a few breaths here. Check in and see how the body is feeling. Take a few breaths, maybe turning the head side to side with the eyes closed. Find that heart beating in the chest and check in with the breath. And when you're ready, open those eyes. Bring the feet a little wider than hip width, twist it out. Let those arms tap the side of the body. Twisting and wringing out, stimulating the kidneys as those arms tap the body. And then release. Come on back to center. So let's bring the left foot out. We'll bring those toes up off the floor, flex the foot. And I'm just gonna widen my stance a bit here. And then I'm just gonna slide down, just kind of like we're coming into our triangle. Just trying it with that foot off the ground. Maybe come down a little deeper and then release that foot down to the ground. You could also have your block here at any height in front or behind of that foot. Check that right arm and just notice if it's going straight up, 12 o'clock, or is it back? Is it overhead? Straight up with that arm in your triangle. And then nice and slow, you start to use those side muscles to lift up. And then reverse triangle. Right hand slides down the back of that right leg. Looking up at the palm of that left hand. Belly's drawn into spine. Nice big stretch here. And then release. Back to center. Let's kind of shake out those shoulders. We're just gonna flip our feet. So right foot is pointing straight ahead. Left foot now is parallel to the back of the mat. So let's start lifting the toes up. And just like we did on the other side. Seeing what it's like to come down here. Use your block if that feels good. And then release those toes down. Rotate those right ribs forward. And then look up, check that left arm. Straight up overhead. Nice big stretch here. In the triangle. For the lower body, we got a little twist going on, a little hip stretch. Stretching that inner right leg. Nice and slow, soften that right knee as you make your way up. And then left hand slides down that left thigh. Flip that hand so the palm is up. Reverse triangle. Look at the palm of that right hand. Belly drawn into spine. Reach out of that right hip. And then release back to center. Parallel the feet. Inhale those arms up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale it up. Exhale, release those arms down. Let's grab our strap. Let's come into a balancing star pose. Get my block out of the way here. Feet are nice and wide. Let's inhale those arms up overhead. Elbows are soft. Shift the weight over into that left leg. So just on that right big toe for now. Draw the belly into the spine. Then maybe right foot comes off the floor. And then maybe we lean to the left a bit. And those shoulder blades closer to one another on the back. Release back to center. Weight is evenly distributed. Maybe we pull that strap back just an inch or two. And then shift over into the right foot. Just on that left big toe as you set up and get ready, draw the belly into the spine, lift that left leg. Lean over to the right. If you fall out, you just start again. Nice and slow. Release. Arms come down. Drop that strap. And just roll those shoulders again. In both directions. So we're almost set up for warrior two here. Let's turn that left foot to face forward. Right foot parallel to the back of the mat. I'm going to widen my stance a little. Come where it feels safe and comfortable. Bend into that front left knee. Just kind of notice if that left knee is kind of caving in. And see if you can open that left knee out to the side. Warrior two arms, look out over that left middle finger. Tip back, peaceful warrior. Nice big stretch out of that left hip. Release back. Let's come into our cactus arms. Come down a little deeper into your warrior two. Take a breath in. And exhale, palms down. Inhale up. Cactus. Exhale, arms down. Breathe in and out. Just gently rotating the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Stretch those arms out again to warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Stretch it back again, reverse triangle. Release back to center. Let's just flip those feet. Right toes pointing straight ahead. Left foot parallel to the back of the mat. Bend into that right knee, warrior two. If you notice one side, you can get down a little deeper. Check if that right knee is caving in, draw it back. Draw the belly into the spine. Look out over that right hand. Tip back, peaceful warrior. Stretch out of that right hip here. Hold it here. Release back to warrior two. Straighten that right leg and tip back again. Reverse triangle. Let's come back to our warrior two and do the arms and the breath here. Cactus arms. Belly's drawn into spine. Draw those shoulder blades closer on the back. Breathe in. Exhale, palms down. Inhale up to cactus. Exhale down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. In through the nose. Nice big exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now we straighten the leg. One more time. Stretch it back. Look at that right palm. And then release. Parallel the feet. You start to walk those feet in a little bit closer. Shake them out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms to a T, swan dive down. Come down to your block of the floor. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, release it. Forward fold. Pull all the way up. Inhale it up, palms together. Lower those hands down in front of the heart, close the eyes. And take a moment to just breathe again. Feel those feet grounded into the earth and breathe. And then when you're ready, release the arms, open the eyes. We'll work on a little bit more for our balance. So let's start grounding into the left foot. Weight shifts to the left leg. And we'll hug that right knee into the chest. You can circle that right foot while you're here. So we're going to release the right arm, and just that left hand is going to hook around the outside of the right knee. Turn and twist, open to the right. So I'm going to flex my foot here, that right foot. You could point it, whatever feels good here. Back to center, nice and slow. Right hand comes to 12 o'clock. That thumb is pointing up to the sky. And now again, turn and twist and open. Back to center. Again, twist, open. If you fall out, we just start again. And release, back to center. Let's keep that right leg up. Send it back, warrior three. And then step back, inhale it up, warrior one. Right foot is flat on the ground. Release the arms and step out. Let's switch sides. So this time, I'll turn this way. We're going to ground into the right leg, shift the weight into the right, hug that left knee into the chest. Get situated with your balance, circle that left ankle. Then right hand hooks around the crook of that left knee outside. Turn, twist, open left. Really slowly, come on back to front. Remember that thumb is pointing straight up to the sky. Nice and slow. Maybe you notice one side's a little more challenging than the other. Back to center. One more time. Twist and open. Hold it here, looking back over that left shoulder. Release nice and slow. Left hand comes back to front, release the arms, send it back, warrior three. Keeping a soft right knee here. Your leg might be moving and wobbling. See if you can point those left toes down towards the ground. Bend the right knee, drop back, warrior one. Right foot is flat on the floor. And exhale, release. While we're here, clasp those hands back behind, or you can grab your strap as well. A little gentle stretch here. We still have that right knee bent. Maybe you lift the hands off the back of it. Little chest opener. Few breaths here, in and out through the nose. And then release. Nice and slow, step out, shake it out. Inhale it up. And exhale down. Let's make our way back down to sit. And that left knee, bottom of that left foot comes into the inner right thigh. Stretch the arms up, turn towards that right leg and fold. You don't have to come far to get a stretch. Wherever those hands reach. Walk the hands back in, and then again, left hand comes to the outside of that right knee, twist to the right. If you want to check your alignment, you can put that block on the top of your head. And it should just rest there while you twist. Release out, nice and slow, switch legs. Stretch out the left. Bottom of the right foot comes to that inner left thigh. Inhale it out, turn towards that left leg, fold. Nice breath in and out. Maybe one side, you get down a little deeper. Just noticing the difference between the right and the left. Walk those hands out, get a nice stretch for the low back. And then start to walk it back in. And then right hand hooks around the outside of that left knee. Turn and twist, that left hand comes back behind you at 6 o'clock, grabbing the block. Spine is long and tall when that block is balanced on your head. Draw the belly into the spine. And just see where you can relax. If there's gripping, soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. And then release out nice and slow. Stretch both legs out to a V. Shake them out. Inhale it up, and then exhale, come forward. So wherever your body goes that you feel a stretch, but no strain or pain, maybe you keep those arms stretched out the whole time, come up onto the fingertips, or maybe you can come down to the forearms, see what's available. Take a few breaths in and out through the nose here. And then nice and slow, come on back up and out. Close those legs up. Make your way back down onto your back. Nice and slow. When you get there, hug those knees into the chest. Rock side to side again. Come into one final twist. Stretch the arms out, drop those knees to the left. Head turns right. Use your blocks here. below or between the knees for support. That feels good. Back through center. And drop those legs over to the right this time. Get those shoulder blades to, both shoulder blades to relax down. And then release back to center. Any final stretch or pose your body needs, take it here. Maybe another happy baby. Maybe a reclined cobbler pose where you bring the bottoms of the feet together and let those knees just kind of flap open like the pages of a book. Maybe you want to come into your reclined star and stretch those limbs out again. Or maybe just a traditional Shavasana. Lying on your back with your arms at your side. Take a moment here. Just as we started, let the body sink down and get heavy. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. Observing the belly floating up and down off the spine. Comfort of your own home, if you have the time and the inclination, stay right where you are. An extended Shavasana. But if you're ready to move on, start to bring some movement in, wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe hugging the knees in, or maybe a nice full body stretch with the arms overhead, feels good. And then take your time, eventually roll over onto your left side for a breath or two. And slowly push up to sit. And once you're ready, coming into a comfortable seated position. Hands together in front of the heart. Closing our practice with the loving kindness meditation. May you be happy. May you be healthy in mind and body. May you be safe. And may you be filled with a sense of ease. And namaste.